last week I found out that we probably all wouldn't be allowed into the Bella Centre to see the COP15 process. And I thought that was an awful infringement on our right to participate in something that is so important to us as young people. And it got me thinking that if we're going to be that excluded from the process, a team of people who have worked really, really hard to learn about this process, to raise money to come to Copenhagen, if this group of people is going to be excluded, then there won't be a youth voice, certainly not from the UK. A youth voice speaking up to the Ed Miliband's in there and the Gordon Browns, saying, we need a future and you need to guarantee that we're going to get one. So I felt very disempowered at the prospect of not being able to do what I've been working really hard all year to do. So it got me thinking about what I could do to express this feeling of disempowerment and this feeling that we're being completely disengaged with. And I very fleetingly thought about doing a high-level direct action, a non-violent direct action, participating in some sort of civil disobedience, but that very quickly left my thoughts because I'm not going to jeopardise my future career because of risk of arrest or anything like that. So I thought, well, if I can't do that, if I can't join in with the high-level protests like we're seeing today, what can I do? And all throughout this year, as a young person from UKYCC and helping with the youth delegation, we've been meeting with DEC and we've been meeting with our negotiators, and I've been able to talk to them, been able to ask them questions and have my voice heard. And that's been really great because there has been a level of engagement. But coming here and getting through the first week made me realise that they may have heard what we had to say, what I had to say, but we haven't really been listened to. That made me feel awfully frustrated and quite far removed from the process. So going back to thinking about what I could do, I was talking with the climate justice fasters. So there's 3 climate justice fasters who've been fasting for about 40 days now. At the time it was about 35 days. Talking to them about their action, what they were doing, and the reasoning for it. And starting to think in my own mind that that was something that I could participate in, because it's a very peaceful protest in a way. It's a very peaceful manifestation of this feeling of disempowerment. And so I thought I would join in, and I thought long and hard about why I would do this. And I wanted to let DEC representatives, our negotiators, Ed Miliband and Gordon Brown, know that that's how I felt. Because I've been very fortunate to meet with them this year. I've been very fortunate to engage with them at various events. And yet I still felt like none of that really mattered. And so the message to them really is, if I feel like this, can you imagine what other young people in the UK feel like? If I've had the privilege and opportunity of meeting with them and going to these events and meetings, if I've been given those opportunities, God, could you imagine how disempowered and disengaged other young people in the UK feel like? So I thought about what I would do, and about how long I would do it for, why I would be doing it. And in 2050 I'll be 66 years old, leading a happy retirement lifestyle. So 66 is quite a big number for me in relation to this process. So I thought that I would start fasting on the Sunday evening and keep going for 66 hours. And so I did, and it's been 66 hours, and I'm feeling like hopefully this message can come across at some point. I know that tomorrow, the Thursday, it's a global day of action for everybody else who's going to join in with the climate justice fast. And I think quite a few people on the delegation are going to be joining in, so I'll join in with that as well, in solidarity with the climate justice fasters who will have been going for about 42 days. And after 66 hours, I'm struggling a little bit. So I can't even begin to imagine how they're feeling after 42 days. So that's what we'll be doing as a team tomorrow in solidarity with them. The reason why I did this 66-hour fast is to just keep a record of that and try, when things have calmed down a little bit, I don't know if they will calm down over the next couple of days, but get that message across to the likes of Ed Miliband, our negotiators, and Gordon Brown. Because I've shaken hands with the Prime Minister. Don't know what else I could do. So I challenge them to give us a bit of a voice in the policy-making process. And there are 3 very specific challenges. To have a youth advisor in DEC, in the Department of Energy and Climate Change, to be able to feed into the policy making and decision making that goes on in that department. To also have a young person on the official government delegation that will go to all of these UN meetings. And another challenge is to have a young person on the UK's Climate Change Committee, the Climate Change Committee being the committee that advises the government on climate change. Because feeling this disempowered right now made me realise that we can go to Q&A sessions with our ministers and leaders and we can ask them questions and they can answer our questions, but really until we're actually in there with them, making the decisions with them, standing side by side, rather than trying to talk to them from the outside, only then will we have a voice.